Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as possible. My board has been out, so it's just now starting to work. This will be only questions number 1 through 10 on your study guide. If you have any questions, please contact me and let me know. Please review this. I will try to make it as brief as possible.
Do you want us to watch all of the videos in Google Classroom? Or do you just want us to watch certain ones?
No, whatever the ones you need to watch.
Oh,
Yeah, just the ones you need to watch. Okay. Um. All right, so sorry about that. We're gonna get started. So this one, it says Thursday afternoon between 4 and 5. You spend 4/5 of the hour reading emails, 4/10 of the hour doing homework, and 35% of the hour doing chores. Write the task in order from least amount of time to greatest. So from least amount of time to greatest. So the first thing that we need to do is make sure that our numbers are all in the same unit. The easiest way to do this is to put this in the form of percents. So we're going to start with our first one here that says 4/5 was spent on emails. So if you put in your calculator 4 divided by 5, it will give you decimal 8. Well, decimal 8 as a percent is 80%. Okay? On the next one, it says 4/10 of the hour was spent doing homework. Well, 4/10 as a percent, with a percent going from a decimal to the percent, you're going to move your decimal 2 places to the right, and that will give you 40%. And finally, we have 35% on chores. This is already in percent, so there's nothing that we have to change on this one. And it asks for us to put them in order from least amount to greatest. So least meaning the smallest amount to greatest. So 35% was chores. So chores was the smallest amount of time, or received the smallest amount of time. Homework came in second with 40%. And in third, we have email with 80%. So this is the correct answer for number 1 on your study guide. This skill only requires you to change your fractions and your decimals to percent. All right, number 2 on your study guide. Nancy is buying a new pair of boots. The store is having a sale, and all boots are 20% off. The boots are 20% off. So this is important information. If I was taking a test using the state testing website and I had my highlighting tools, I would probably put 20% off. The actual question says, which expressions can represent the sales price of the boots where X is the original amount? We're going to use X as the original amount of the boots. Select all that apply. So you're looking for the sales price. Now the sales price is how much did you spend on these boots? So sales price. So this is the actual amount that you paid for the boots. So percent off means that you're going to take that money off. It's going to make your original balance go down. So what we can do is take that original balance and we can subtract 20% of that. So it's 20% of that original amount. So that is the original X minus 20% of the original. That answer is D. The other thing that you can do is ask yourself, well, how much are you actually paying? If they're going to deduct 20% and we start off with 100%, 100% is all of it. Well, they're going to do 20% off. That will only leave us with 80% of that original cost to be paid. So you can also say 80% of that original balance, which is B. So B and D are your answers for that one. On to number 3, using the same 20% off. It says the sales price of the boots, the amount that you paid for the boots, is what percent of the original cost. Remember, sales price, that is the amount that you paid. The sales price is 80% of the original amount. If you chose 20%, that's not the sales price, that's the discounted price. 80% is the sales price. It's 80% of the original balance is what you're going to be paying because they took 20% off. So that one was just a basis. You really just had to understand what the question was asking and understand whole. This is another one, just understanding your whole. Okay, Marvin had great service at the dinner last night. He left an 18% tip. If the total food bill was $45.75, which expression could be used to find the total amount of the bill? So you're going to leave the actual bill plus 18% of that bill. So the actual percent is a whole, which is 100 or 1 as a number or with a decimal 1. This is 100% plus 18%, which is for the tip. So this is the bill at 100% and this is the tip. So you're going to leave 118% or 1.18 percent or 118% of that bill. So we're going to change that 118 to a decimal, which we already have here, and we're going to multiply that by the total amount. So if you do 118 times the amount of the bill, which was $45.75, this is the amount that you will be remaining. So this is the equation. Remember, the 1 represents the actual bill. That's 100% of the bill. The tip is 18%. That's going to be what's going to increase your bill. So you're leaving a total of 1.8 as a decimal of that bill, or 118% of the bill. Of means to multiply. That's why we multiplied $45.75 times 1.18. All right, you answered 21 out of 25 questions correctly on a test. Did you reach your goal of getting 80%? So you're trying to find out if you met your goal of 80% with getting 21 out of 25. Now, proportions or ratios can be written as a fraction and then turned into a percent. So all you have to do is say 21, that is your part, over the total amount, which is your whole. And we're going to change this into a decimal and then into a percent. So at this time, this is when you pick up the calculator. 21 divided by 25, which will give you 84, decimal 84, which is 84%. So yes, you met your goal. All right. Any questions? No questions. I know. Okay, so of 147th grade students, 15% earned the Presidential Physical Fitness Award. How many students earned the award? So you're looking for how many students earned the award. And they told us the total. This is the total amount of students that we have. This is our percent. So we're looking for what part of the total amount is 15%. So there's two ways that you can work this problem. We're looking for our part. What part of that 140? So we can say part is going to be equal to 15% times 140. So 140 times decimal 15, which will give us 21. Or you could have used your percent over 100 is equal to your part over whole, or your is over of. So now I'm just going to substitute for what I actually have in my problem. So I do have my total. So as I get ready to write this equation, my total is 140. My part, I don't know what part of the 140, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So I'm going to put an X here. And then I have 15%. Now we're just going to write this as 15 over 100. You're going to cross multiply here. Cross multiply here. Then divide by 100 on both sides to get your X by itself, and X will equal to 21. And that's your answer. So those are the two ways. How many students earn the award? So ask yourself, what do you have? They're giving you a percent and they're giving you a total. Okay, you assigned 32 math exercises for homework. You completed 87.5% of these before dinner. How many do you have left to do after dinner? So you're looking for how many you have left. So you know you're going to have to do some subtraction here. So before you can figure out how many you have left, you got to figure out how many you have completed. So again, we're going to use... I'm going to use the part. Part equals decimal times the decimal percent, or the percent, times the whole. So in all, we had 32 problems, and you have completed 87.5%, which is decimal 87.5. So I'm going to put that over here and multiply. This is only going to tell me how many that I completed. So you have 0.875 times 32, which will give us 28 problems. This is the number of problems that we have completed, but in here it is asking for how many do you have left. So to determine the number of problems that you have left, all you simply do is take how many you started off with, or your total, subtract how many you have completed, and that will give you how many problems that you have remaining, which will be 4 problems. Okay, on to number 8. It says, use the table on the right to answer question number 8. You are shopping for a cell phone. Which store offers the cheaper cell phone? So store A has an original amount of $129. They are offering a 30% discount. So we can use our formula of the original. This is a discount So that means that we're going to subtract. So original minus the percent off times the original amount. Okay. So I'm going to work each of these out the same way. Okay, so we're going to start off with store A. Store A, the original amount is $129 minus the percent off, which is 30%, write that as a decimal, times the original amount. So our order of operation tells us that we work inside of the parentheses first. So 30% of 129 is $38.70. So we're looking for the cheaper phone. So we're going to subtract that from the original cost. So that's $129 minus $38.70, which will give us $90.30 for phone A. All right, moving on to phone B. We're going to do the same thing. The original amount is $135 minus the discount of 35% times the original amount. Work inside the parentheses first. So 35% of the 135 will give you $47.25. You're going to subtract that from the original amount. So 135 minus $47.25 will give you $87.75. This is phone B. And then the last one I'm going to put here. This is phone C. Our original amount was $150. You're going to get 40% off of that, so off of the $150. So 40%, decimal 40 times 150 will give you $60. And you're going to subtract that from the 150. So 150 minus $60 will give you $90 for phone C. So they ask which one is the cheaper. That's the one that costs the least. So your answer here is B. Phone B costs $87.75. That is cheaper. Phone A is the most expensive. Phone C comes below there. And phone B is the least expensive one. Moving on to question number 9. The price of your favorite brand of jeans was $35 last month. This month, the price is $42. What is the percent of change from last month to this month? So this one calls for percent of change. So you have to know how to calculate this. You need to know this equation. That is percent over 100 is equal to change over original. Now the first thing I need to do is calculate my change. So that's going to be $42, the new price minus the old price. So $42 minus $35 will give me $7. It was a $7 change. Now I am looking for the percent, so I'm going to say X over 100. My change was 7. Now my original amount last month, what it was first, was $35. So this is my equation. Now I'm just simply going to solve for it. So I'm going to cross multiply. That's going to give me 35x is equal to 700. So you're going to divide by 35 on both sides to get your x by itself. And X is going to equal 20%. So there was a 20% change in your price of your item from last month to this month. So 20%. Now this is good if you're looking to see if something went down and how much they went down over time, if you're looking in the stock and different prices of items. So this is really good that you can use in the real world, as well as taxes and so forth. Okay, and the last one that I'm going to do before my next class comes in, you estimate that a baby pig weighs 20 pounds. The actual weight of the baby pig is 16 pounds. The percent error, you're looking for the percent error. Now you need to know this one as well. So it is the acceptable amount of what you estimate minus the actual amount over the actual amount is equal to percent over 100. So they told us that we estimated that it was 20 pounds. The actual amount was 16. We're going to put that over 16 and set it equal to the percent over 100. So 20 minus 16 will give us 4. And 4 divided by 16, we can leave it like that. We can leave it as 4 over 16. Equals percent over 100. So we're looking for the percent. Now we're just going to cross multiply. So it's going to be 400 is equal to 16x. So 400 divided by 16 will give us 25. So x is equal to 25. That's your answer for that one. And it tells you that this is the estimated amount or the assumed amount, and this is the actual amount. So in these particular problems, this one's very simple, but you need to know your equation. I will try to come back before the end of the day and shoot the other video for the remaining problems. And I hope this helped. See you all soon.